Hello, thanks for stopping by. In this video, I'm creating a card featuring a stack of books. It's going to be a 4¼ by 5½ inch card, and I'll be using these three colors, the orange, this sort of yellow, green, and teal or turquoise, I'm not sure which color that is, to die cut these various book dies out of these cardstock. So I'm just trying to decide which books to cut out of which colors here. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut out the tassels out of some metallic gold cardstock. And then I'm going to cut the book pages out of sort of an off-white color. So that's sort of what they look like when they're die cut. And here I'm just gluing on the book covers to the book dies that have the pages visible. I'm going to add the tassels at a later time. And then I'm just kind of playing with different layouts. I couldn't really decide how I wanted to set them up at first, so I was playing with different ones. I wanted to get a cool little background, so I used this plaid die or plaid embossing folder to create a background directly onto the card base. And then I decided to cut out a white panel to sort of prop up on top. Now to create my stack of books, I'm gluing them onto a thin white piece of cardstock just to create my stack. And it's at this point that I decide to add the tassels. So the book pages have these little die cut slits. So I'm slipping the tassel into the little slit, and then I'm using my glue to sort of secure the tassel onto the front of the little book. And I'll use my magnet just to hold it down until it glues itself down. And now I'm gonna add the rest of my stacked books to this little white die cut. I added this onto this not a die cut, this white strip of cardstock because I wanted to make sure that there wasn't like a weird white, and I wanted to be able to move my stack of books as I figured out where I wanted to put my sentiment on the card. And so it's just easier to have them all glued down, and then I could figure out what else I wanted to do with my card layout. So once I have all of these books secure to this die cut or this strip of white cardstock, I'm going to trim the edges off so you can't see them. And so then I'll just have my die cut book stack in these various colors. I then decided I wanted to cut out a little nice edge onto my white panel, and so I went ahead and did that. And now I'm stamping a sentiment, "No one stacks up to you," using my Misty stamping tool. I'm going to stamp that a few times, and I don't have a coordinating die for this, so I'm going to fussy cut around the sentiment. And I actually messed it up the first time and had to do it over again, but that's what happens sometimes. So doing my best to cut around these words to make it look like it's intentional and that it's supposed to have a die cut edge to it. And now I'm going to glue everything else together. So I'm going to glue my white panel that has the fancy die cut edge directly onto my card base. So it'll end up covering a lot of the embossing folder detail, but I still think it looks a little nice and polished. And then I'm going to add some foam tape to the back of my books. So I'm adding 2 per book and sort of hugging around that white strip of cardstock so it doesn't have like weirdly stacked places. And then I'll go ahead and adhere that to the center of the die cut rectangle. And then I'm going to add some foam squares to the back of my sentiment. And then I'm going to add that to the stack of books. And so this is the finished card. Pretty simple, but these cute little books with the sentiment, "No one stacks up to you." And I just love the embossing detail that you can see on the inside of the card. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this video inspirational, and check out some of my other videos.